Hello, everybody. DT here with another episode of the Breakthrough Podcast. This is episode 3. Did 2 episodes back to back, so wanted to jump right back on, get an opportunity to just amplify things up a little bit, encourage you, motivate you, inspire you in some way, give you some energy to be able to take progressive steps to being better, to getting more what you want, to having success, to feeling better, to just be happy, to feel joy. So let's start. This one is a great topic for today. I know there's a lot of us out there that struggle with things that have happened to us. So this episode focuses on what has happened to you. And I will start off just with a quote from another famous motivational speaker, Jim Rohn, who says, "It's not what's happened to you, it's what you do." You can let that sink in for a quick second. Obviously, I think this hits home with a lot of people. Some of us, what's happened to us is that we might be on our second marriage. Some of us, what's happened is that we might have been fired or furloughed or cut from a job. Some of us, what's happened to us is that we didn't have loving parents when we were younger. Some of us, what's happened to us is that we're going through an abusive relationship. Some of us, it's drugs. So all these things. Some of us, it's bullying. Some of us, it's not just not feeling like we are part of something. What's happened to us can be tragic. Some of us have faced the loss of loved ones. Some of us have faced the loss of just people we truly care about, people that we thought made the world a better place. So what has happened to you is the question. And I'm going to jump into this segment and give you a powerful story, maybe something that you can relate to. And I think this message from the story that I hope that you take is one where your understanding is that not everything that happens to you has to take you away from being something great after that. I think we really have to define and try to understand what's happened to us is sometimes in many ways it's more of it's like a light, a shining light. Maybe that light is telling us to do something better and bigger. Maybe we're living out the legacy of someone else who has passed. Maybe we're being better people. Maybe it wasn't meant for us to be in love with somebody or to stay with somebody and make it work. There are a lot of things that we can look at to be able to move on. So a lot of us have a lot of stuff happening to us. So it's not about what happens to you. Again, it's what you do after the fact, whether you hold on to it and you let it take over you, or whether you look for the fine lining and you realize is that there's so much that can come from the loss or the pain or the just the non-satisfaction, whatever it is that you might be feeling, the unwantedness, the depression, the anger, the anxiety, whatever has happened to you, that does not mean that is who like you have to be. It's not. It's just about what you decide to do from that moment. So I'm reminded of a story, and this young gentleman had a family. And the young gentleman, he's just walking around downtown in a Chicago area, and people see him, legislators, and they kind of, they're just wondering all the time as they look at this guy. He's walking around in a chicken suit, and he's pushing a baby stroller, a twin set baby stroller. They notice that he has baby dolls in the stroller. He has a chicken suit on. Just picture that. a chicken suit, and he's walking around in this legislative, part of downtown in Chicago, and he doesn't say a word. He walks around mumbling to himself. He doesn't say anything to anybody. He just mumbles. And each and every day, people were like, something's wrong with this guy. I wonder what's wrong with him. And one day, a guy decided to approach him. And he just went off in a crazy, hysterical way and started making the sound of a chicken. And it was brutal. It was just, that's all he did. He just made a chicken sound. He never spoke to this individual who tried to come up to him and asked him what his story was. It was later found out is that this man had a family. He had a wife and he had 2 kids, and they were at home one night and the house caught fire, and he ran out thinking that his family was running out with him. And unfortunately, his wife and 2 kids, he left them behind. And his brother-in-law shows up on the screen, on the scene. And he says to him, "Where are my sister and the kids?" And the man replies and he says, I left them behind. I ran out and I left them behind, and they burned in the fire. And his brother-in-law just goes whomping on him and jumped all over him. And he's saying, "You chicken! I can't believe you left them in the house. You chicken!" And he's just on him and he's calling him a chicken and he's beating him upside the head. And he's just going to town on this guy. And in that moment, tragedy has struck. And the only thing that this guy can remember is letting his brother-in-law down and being called a chicken. And that stuck with him for the rest of his life, unfortunately. He really truly believed that he deserved to be called a chicken and that he had failed his family. And that's where he stayed. He stayed in that pocket. Chicken Man. That's his name. That's who he was, because of what happened to him was tragic. But he never got over the hump. He never was able to pick up and get his life back on track. See, what happened is that he stopped living. He believed after that moment, as tragic as it was, because none of us want to lose our family, that he didn't do all he can do to save his family. And so he was a chicken. And anytime somebody approached him, he barked, just barked like a chicken. Buck, buck. That's all he did, a chicken. And he walked around for the rest of his life like that. So I don't know what you're facing today. And I'm not sure if you really understand the kind of like the focus here. You have to get over it. I know it's hard. Things happen to people every day in so many different ways, and we don't ever want to make it seem like there's not enough light shedded on it. We never want to make it seem like it's not important. But what I'm saying is that how you decide to react. See, things are going to happen to you in this life that will beat you down. They will discourage you. They will make you feel less than what you are. And it will make you feel like there is nothing else for you to live for. And I'm just here to say to whoever you are, if you are feeling like Chicken Man, and maybe you feel like you're a coward, maybe you feel like you're useless, maybe you feel like you're just, you're nothing because of something that has happened to you. I say to you, in any circumstance, no matter what you're dealing with, what has happened to you is not what should define you. It's what you do next. And I'm looking to you to do something bold, to do something beautiful, to do something bright, to do something so amazing that whatever it is that happened to you won't be able to hold you back. It won't be able to hold you down, and people will see the real you for what you deserve, who you are, who you can be, what you will become, and you deserve that. So be inspired today, and remember, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do. Thank you for tuning in on another episode of the Breakthrough Podcast. Always great to have you. I hope that this touches you or motivates you in some way, and I hope you think about some area of your life that this can reflect on, and you start thinking about what are you going to do. You only have one option. Make life count every day. Have a great day. Thank you. Till next time, episode 3. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do.